Please keep in mind that today's date is the 21st of April of June 2021. And I am Wanda, also known as Voice for Silent. You can reach me at realvoiceforsilent@gmail.com. Real voice with the number 4 silent@gmail.com. If you have any ideas or something you'd like to chat to me about, let me know. And so today I'm going to talk about the letter Q. Q is LMNOPQ, comes after P. LMNOPQR comes before R. It's a nice letter though. It looks like an O and it's got a little slash in it. Interesting because I had a conversation, or actually somebody had made some post on my previous video on YouTube, um, which was about how conspiracy theories are dumb. And I guess a person who decided to watch my broadcast wasn't enthused with me saying that and went on to say that Q is real and Q is part of the military and oh, yada, yada, yada. Hello, Let It Be. How are you? It's a balmy 31 Celsius here right now, so it's like Mexico temperature right now here. It's very warm, which is why I'm sitting outside doing my dream catchers. Hey, yeah, W for Wanda. Hey, Melanie, how are you? And thank you for your messages. I saw your message about it was the same person, by the way. It wasn't a whole bunch of different people. It's the same person. Well, 104 is 40 degrees Celsius here. So it's probably about 38, if I would have to guess, Celsius, which is hot. But that's okay. Hot is good. Two messages. One was about preferring not to be live with me during a conversation due to, yeah, it wasn't a group of people, it was just one person who has been doing this to me for years on Periscope. So it's no big deal. You know, the thing is, people can believe what they want, but be careful. Not every person out. I mean, Q. The people who believe in Q are believing in aliens contacting them and something called voice to skull technology where they just do it with radio waves and all that. I mean, it's gone crazy, right? And when a person, here's the way I like to say it took one person to say something and then one more to believe it. And then that person spread it to his friends and they spread it to theirs and they all believed it. And it's like the game telephone, where whenever you tell somebody, say you're standing it's like when you're a kid, you play telephone. You tell somebody a sentence next to you, and by the time it goes around the circle, it's completely different. They're like conspiracy theory wrapped up in one big mess. Oh, yeah. They're the ones who believe that the Democrats are Satan's cabal and that they are pedophiles and that the reason why they all look so young is because they draw the blood off of innocent children and they drink it, and that when the ships were brought in to New York to act as a hospital in case it was overflowing when COVID was bad last year. They say that, oh no, that's not what it was for. It was actually to rescue the children from the Democratic Party who had been hiding them and using and abusing them. So when you think of ideas, because Joe and Hillary look so young, I know, right? Yeah, they all look so young. But some people believe that. And this one person who may watch this video on YouTube, and I apologize if you're not watching it live, and I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but on YouTube, my response is you're entitled to believe what you want. You're entitled to your opinion, and so am I. And I don't believe this Q thing. I think it's like a big game of telephone where it started off as one thing, but by the time it got to all these people around the globe, it's completely different, you know. And because nobody knows who Q is, the one who started that all, because they don't know who Q is, there's no way to say that he's in the military or he's even a he. Could be a she. You just don't know, right? And if there was a Q, how come nobody else knows who this Q is, the real Q? And why do they have to hide behind an alphabet letter? I mean, I don't go by W. I guess I could, but I'm not that vain. Maybe their name is Quentin or something, and they just that's their nickname, Q, right? You just never know. It could be any kind of things. Yeah, it's just ridiculous to me. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion and such, but at least make sure that it's something you can show as an actual truth and not a conspiracy, because conspiracies are not factual. They haven't been proven as fact. And until they are, they're just a theory, and a theory is not a fact. It is dangerous at this point. I mean, look what happened, the resurrection there, the uprising at the Capitol. I mean, that was world news, and yet people on the Republican side are saying, "Oh no, it wasn't that way," and the media made it look bad and made it look like it was Trump supporters, made it look like, you know, Roger Stone was pictured just a few hours before the insurrection started, with I think 6 or 7 of the Oath Keepers, which are considered a terrorist organization. I mean, how can you do that and then claim that you have nothing to do with anything and you're innocent and all that? Sure, it depends. I mean, I know a lot of Hell's Angels. Doesn't mean I'm a Hell's Angel, but it does mean I know a lot of Hell's Angels and I'm very familiar with how they work. Boy, am I ever. you know, Family members who are part of that organization. But it's funny, nobody hides behind a mask. They don't, and I shouldn't say that because I do support a group called the Anonymous because I've seen and I've been a part of some of their projects that they've been involved in since 2012. And I know what they can do, I know what they have done. I know that eventually, no matter how hard you try, you will get caught. So if this person is a real person, Q, they will be caught, and the government will want to know who that person is. But what if it's a collective? What if it's just one big joke? Because you just don't know. It could be a bunch of people who got together for shits and giggles and decided we're going to see where this is going to go. Just like they do on Twitter when they start a hashtag. They start a hashtag and everybody thinks it's for something, but it's not really for that. It's for something else. It's just basically to grab your attention and bring you, to what that person is doing and saying. But it is really, to me, if people believe that the entire Democratic Party are a bunch of pedophiles who take children and drink their blood and all that, like you'd think at least one would have been caught by now, right? You'd think. Conspiracy theory, see? Telling you they know who the guy that was posting his Q. Yeah, you know what? That's what somebody else told me too. Who is, I know it's supposedly a military person. Who is Q? QAnon. Who, who is Q? Why people think Jim, Ron, what think, hang on. Uh, okay. Who is Q? QAnon's ringleader may have been hiding in plain sight all along. QAnon. No, I don't want to know. Thank you. Researchers have long suggested that 8kun's owner, KUN apostrophe S owner and operator, were involved in the theory. QAnon began with posts, an anonymous figure who most recently posted as 8KUN, Jim Watkins' website. There's also speculation on the involvement of Watkins' son, Ron, a former operator of the platform. Well, so the owner of the French message board, 8KUN, formerly 8chan. Oh, it was 8chan and now it's, that's best known as a forum for violent extremists and mass shooters, has been a prominent voice advocating for limitless protections for speech online. And by the way, this is coming to you from insider.com. I do not own the rights for this. The owner of the French message board, best known, has been a prominent voice advocating for limitless protections for speech online, even when it veers into hate. In 2019, Watkins testified in front of Congress saying his platform has no intent of deleting constitutionally protected hate speech, doing nothing to assuage fears that spaces like 8kun would continue to serve as breeding grounds for extremism. Its role in the QAnon conspiracy theory movement, for instance, became increasingly clear in the last year. The movement, which revolves around the belief that a deep state cabal of human traffickers exists in the top levels of power in the US, grew and spread out of a series of posts on the message board and eventually contributed to many. Okay, see, that's exactly what I'm saying. It started off, revolved around the belief that a deep state cabal of human traffickers exists, a belief. It's not truth, it's not fact, it's a belief. They just believe. So they're not sure, but they believe it. Just like kids believe in the tooth fairy, they believe in Santa Claus, they believe in the Easter Bunny. So, you know, and then it says, it grew and spread out of a series of posts on the message board. So, like I was saying about the telephone game, one person says something, then another person sees it, reads it, hears it, whatever. And then they're going to go off with their, whatever their view is of what that person wrote. And they're going to take their view and they're going to tell their friends about it. And their friends each have their own view. And eventually you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people with their own view, which is nothing like the original view. And they believe that because of that, because of what was spread on the message board, that caused them, well, to contribute to the riot on the Capitol during January 6th insurrection. And now, after speculation that Watkins himself played a role in the propagation of QAnon, a new HBO documentary series has seemingly added evidence to the idea that Watkins' son Ron, the former administrator of 8KUN, led the show for quite some time. It was basically 3 years of intelligence training, teaching normies how to do intelligence work. It was basically what I was doing anonymously before, but never as Q. It was basically 3 years of intelligence training. Where did he get his training from? I'd like to know. Ron Watkins told filmmaker Cullen Holback in the finale of Q, Into the Storm, which aired Sunday night, I guess, a while back. Watkins claimed he wasn't interacting with QAnon supporters as Q. His admission that he was previously posting anonymously raised eyebrows. So, as Holbach said in the film, Ron had slipped up. So, why would you post anonymously if you want people to know who you are, right? So, in posts on his Telegram channel, which I can't stand Telegram, by the way, because of all the child abuse videos that are on there that are used to stream on that platform, and they're all over the place. They're on Periscope. That's how I know of Telegram. I would never be part of that. In posts on his Telegram channel in March and April of this year, the younger Watkins, so Ron, told his 152,000 subscribers that he is not Q. QAnon watchers and internet sleuths have long believed that Watkins' father-son duo could have a primary role in orchestrating the movement, which has found a home among Republicans, many of whom have praised QAnon believers. Well, of course they're going to praise them because they're going after their opponents. They're trying to bring their opponents down. So of course they're going to be happy with this. But if they were going after them, it would be a whole nother thing. It would be like, oh my God, why are they doing this? And they're liars, and this isn't true. And so the entire worldview of QAnon adherents is based on the notion the anonymous Q figure has been communicating with them for years. If either Watkins admitted openly to being Q, the community would be forced to reckon with proof that the anonymous figure actually has no connections to the White House. And in the days after the finale of Q Into the Storm aired on HBO, the community reacted as many experts suspected it would: denial and accusations of fake news. Frederick Brennan, the software developer who created 8chan and has since become its most vocal critic, told Insider in October 2020 interview that he believed the elder Watkins was responsible in some part for Q drops. He's smart in that he sees that there's power to be had by controlling the fringes of society, not just the core mainstream level of society. QAnon. So, okay, the evidence that links the two Watkins men to QAnon. QAnon grew out of Watkins' platform. And the QAnon movement revolves around a baseless far right conspiracy theory that claims former President Donald Trump was secretly fighting an elite deep state cabal of human traffickers. It was born on the message board 4chan in 2017 before moving to 8chan, where people began to pick up on so-called Q drops from an anonymous poster named Q, who claims to have a high-level security clearance in the US government. Now, if it is in fact Watkins, and he has never worked for the government, but yet he's claiming he did work for the government, if he is in fact Q, doesn't that make you go, what? He lied about that. So obviously he lied about everything else. When 8chan, which was owned by 56-year-old Watkins, went offline in 2019 after its cybersecurity provider cut ties with the platform, Q reappeared on Watkins's new platform, 8KUN. Aside from the initial appearance on 4chan, Q sends messages to his followers only on a platform operated by Watkins and his son, Ron. So that's kind of sneaky. QAnon skeptics have been curious about Jim Watkins' impact on QAnon. See, they're never going to believe who QAnon actually is. They're never ever going to believe it because to them, it's much more interesting to have a theory, a conspiracy theory, rather than face the truth that it is a man who had nothing to do with anything and was simply posting crazy messages, trying to incite people, knowing full well that one person just had to take that message and run with it. Curious about Jim Watkins' impact on QAnon, but many QAnon researchers and experts have recently speculated that Watkins himself might be responsible for the Q drops. Q has not posted since December 2020. Despite the evidence that Q is not whom he says he is, QAnon supporters don't seem to care. Alexander Reed Ross, a doctoral fellow at the Center for Analysis of the Radical Right, an organization that tracks right wing extremism worldwide, told Insider that because conspiracy theories exist in the framework of deep suspicion and paranoia, QAnon adherents won't take new assertions of truth lightly. So they're not going to believe even the truth, these people, at this point. Every iteration has to become plausible for them and sort of coexist within what they already believe through QAnon. They can't walk it back. They have to continue to move forward, right? Because once you say that that is truth, that it is some person who works in the government, some high up person that works in the White House that has all this information, then you have to believe that. But believing that it's just a person who just felt like getting numbers up onto his website, to drawing people in, to creating money, really. That's what he's doing. Good job, guy. If that's what you're after, you've done the right thing, getting as many followers as what you've got. Watkins' son, Ron Watkins, previously declined to comment, told Insider to reach out to Is It Wet Yet, a parent company for 8KUN and other websites. A representative for Is It Wet Yet did not respond to a request for comment. Brennan worked with the father son Watkins duo until 2018 when he quit in protest of the platform being used for harm. As mass shooters continually use the message board, Brennan's relationship with the men unraveled, eventually leading to Jim Watkins hitting him with a libel lawsuit. Brennan's theory with Watkins may be Q was investigated by The Atlantic in June, and a September investigation ABC News reported on the likelihood that Watkins is Q, finding that he and his son Ron were the two Americans most clearly associated with Q drops. The theory was also popularized by September Reply All podcast. Mounting evidence was pointed at Watkins, an American entrepreneur and pig farmer. He's a pig farmer. Now lives in the Philippines, has immense control over QAnon as the community exists on his platform. While the first message appeared on 4chan, which is not owned by Watkins, in 2017 the anonymous figure soon moved to Watkins' 8chan and then to 8KUN. When Cloudflare, 8chan's cybersecurity provider, cut ties with the platform last year, 8chan went dark for 3 months. Without 8chan, Q did not post elsewhere online. Funny, right? Funny. They simply disappeared before reemerging on 8KUN, Watkins' new platform. In an effort to preserve each user's privacy, users of 8KUN and its predecessors don't have accounts with their name attached, like on Facebook or Twitter. Instead, they each have a trip code, a code sequence that lets others know the same individual is posting. But because third parties cannot verify each poster's identity with the trip codes, they are not secure. According to Brennan, of course not. Anybody can post anything they want to, but then is it provable? Is it factual? You know? So it kind of makes, let me just see, I'm just going to go to this 8KUN. Welcome to 8KUN. Create a board, manage your board. Board list. I'll probably have to sign in for it, but I'll click it anyway. But, it's not going through right now. See if it's even on anymore. Huh. Doesn't seem to be on or something. 53 rows. Manager board. Aitken. Q research. It's interesting to see if any of these are going to open up. So far, no. Q research by Chan. Egyptians. Q research. Yeah. It doesn't, I don't know if it's up or what. Is it? Oh, their domain was effectively locked down due to prolonged deplatforming efforts of Brennan and the corporate complicity of sites like Tucows. As such, the Watkins have decided to decisively navigate around this roadblock entirely and have spun up an alternative domain for 8K, now meaning 8K. UN is once again inaccessible. Is it up? Is it down? Check the status. Is it up? It's up and reachable. Huh. What is it coming opening? Is it wet yet? Let's see what's on that site. You know, if I'm talking about Q, I guess I should, give myself a little bit of quick rundown. So, first you'll be able to browse 8KUN using your normal web browser, the official domain. Huh. So, anyway, so I've looked into a little bit of this stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you that. Yeah, my cute friend used to send me videos of all these weird birdies videos. It's an old racist message. They jump to add on more. Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I will use a VPN before I actually go there because every website you go to keeps your IP address, but you can find free VP virtual private networks online, and it will mask. What it does basically is it takes your original email address, then it goes, or sorry, IP address, internet provider address, and it goes to this first server, and then from that server it pings off and goes to another one, and it pings and pings and pings and pings. So it goes from one server to another till finally you're given a completely different IP address, which could be from France, right? But originally you started off in Kentucky, for instance. But I did a lot of volunteer stuff with the anonymous, and I even helped. I supported a guy to get out of jail who was part of the anonymous. Um, there was a lot of things that happened back in those days, 2012, 2013. There were young people who were being cyberbullied and uh, sex sex sextorted, and one was a 15-year-old girl, one was a 17-year-old girl. Both girls took their lives, and Anonymous got involved because the police weren't having too much luck trying to figure out who the person was. Well, in this case was two different situations. But the first one was somebody that this young girl had been harassed by since she was almost 12 years old. She made a mistake. The guy said he was 16. She was going through a tough time. Her parents were going through divorce. She was suffering with depression, and somebody claiming to be a 16-year-old surfer kid on one of these so-called social media sites at the time hooked his talents into her, and she was dead. Um, just before her 16th birthday, she passed away after the guy had repeatedly sent out topless images of her and was always tormenting her through Facebook and her friends, and a picture, a topless image of when she was not even 12 years old. The guy used repeatedly on social media apps, including Facebook, targeting this girl. And if she wouldn't do what he wanted her to do, he threatened to send that picture out to all of her friends on her friends list. He would get the friends to friend him by saying that he was a friend of hers. They went to the other school together. He was moving there. Now they were going to be going to school together. And he thought, maybe he should become friends with who she was friends with, right? And that's how it went. Now the guy, I mean, he was what, 30, maybe 30. He's in his 30s. I don't want to say the exact date, a year, but in his 30s in the Netherlands, he was caught by the police, a police sting from the United Kingdom, where he was doing this to a number of men and women, young men and women, claiming that he was one thing when he wasn't, and then using them and abusing them and threatening them, and all of that, to tell your family, I'm going to tell your friends, I'm going to tell your school, I'm going to tell your work that, in the cases of men, he would tell them, I'm going to tell your work you're gay, and I'm going to tell your family you're gay, and I'm going to tell your friends you're gay, and so everybody's going to know you're gay, like it's a bad thing. But I guess to a straight guy, I guess that's a threat. But in the case of this young girl named Amanda Todd, she was world news. And for a while, she still is news to this one guy who's been stalking her death since she died in 2012. He's been stalking her. He writes about her. He has a site that's set up that he talks about this young girl all the time. He says that he's weird. There's no other way to put it. He posts pictures of other young girls in provocative positions or whatever, claiming that, oh, I'm just trying to help them. And really, what's going on is there's a bunch of pedophiles. Maybe QAnon should go to their site and have a look at him. But, you know, the Anonymous originally started off, and you can't just claim you're anonymous. Okay, so QAnon saying, I'm part of the Anonymous movement. You can't claim to be part of it until somebody lets you know you're part of it. And while you can claim to be part of anything, I mean, you can claim to be the president of it, but there's no president. I know because I dealt with the original members. Originally, it started over in Europe. There were 12 people that wanted to go out and do something positive and to uh, you make things easier, kind of like Robin Hood, basically, is what I think, take from the rich, give to the poor, and going after big companies and stuff like that, and saying, hey, you got to share profits, etc. And then there was a splinter because it's some parts of the anonymous group movement started becoming very serious and doing illegal activity. And the other part decided they wanted to continue with helping people helping people who are being stalked, who are being abused, all of these things. And so they split. But there are anonymous organizations all around the globe. They're everywhere. If you go to Facebook and you type in anonymous in a search engine, you'll find a whole bunch of countries that have their factions of the anonymous. And I mean, it's like if you don't know who the anonymous were or are, because they're still out there, they're the ones that are doing the real work. This QAnon is doing nothing. QAnon just spouted off some things, but never actually has done anything to make it better, to stop it. And wouldn't you think there'd be some proof by now if QAnon was doing the things that, if people were doing what the QAnon says? Don't you think there'd be some outcry about it, some real outcry? Don't you think people would be actually watching? I mean, don't they trust their own people? I mean, an FBI or whatever, don't they trust them enough to think, well, you know what, if they're thinking there's this whole, cabal in there, don't you think that the FBI would be involved? Because that's no good, you know? So I look at organization or a person who calls himself QAnon or Q. I mean, if you don't have the balls to show who you really are and you're hiding, then how can anybody believe anything? Anybody could go as a private person and call themselves, say for me, W Anon. So W. And then I could spread a bunch of crap like Santa Claus is real. I know him. He lives with the Easter Bunny. And all it would take is one person to believe it and then to talk about it. And then their friends to do the same thing. And suddenly, the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus are the cabal. You know, it's like, you're entitled to your opinion, but don't force it upon everybody, you know? And if you can only post your so called opinions on message boards and you can't do it elsewhere, what's the point? What's the point? All you're after is fame and fortune that's going to last you 15 minutes. And then your 15 minutes will be up once they find out who you are, really who you are, not who they guess you are, but who you are, QAnon, you know? But having dealt with the anonymous, um, I know they're not cowards in the sense that sure they don't post their real names and their locations and that sort of thing, but you can see proof of what they say they're doing. So if they have a project going on, say I was involved with um, for years to take down this teen chat website because it was filled with child predators and children had been used and abused on this site, had come to me on um, my YouTube site and said, can you look into this, because I feel very scared being there, and it's supposed to be a chat room for teenagers. And then upon checking it, then I found out they also had one that was geared for kids. And yet, no, get down. Get down. What are you doing? Ugh. Okay, you know what? I'm going to trust you. I'm going to let you out. Come on. Come on, Gray. Come on. Come sit with me. Want to come? Come on. Come on. You come sit with me, okay? All right? I'll let you outside for a little while. You're like, whoa, what's going on? Why am I outside? Just don't go anywhere, okay? I trust you. Yeah, you're welcome to look around for mice or whatever. You have to look around. Trusting the cat outside. Ugh. He's going, why am I outside? Where are you? Because we live near a river, there's some huge rats. Don't go anywhere, Gray, okay? You just stay here. Please don't go anywhere. I trust you, dude. Yeah, so far. You wanna come and sit? You come sit with me? Yeah, you smell those rats, but yeah. This is crazy. He used to be an outdoor cat till he just about died because a coyote got at him. Oh yeah, he definitely smells the rats that are over there. I'm crazy. Where you going, baby? Don't go too far. Oh, he's stalking something. Anyway, so yeah, in my opinion, this Q person QAnon is just a person, and no different than you or I can make up whatever garbage they want to, and people will believe it's true, you know? And it's ridiculous that people will actually believe that. Gray, where are you? Come on, Gray. He's hunting, I think. It's so hot out here, my hair is wet. Oh, Lord. But I can't get into 8 KUN, so I don't even know if they're, well, it says they're up. I don't know what they would have done. Yeah, LMNOPQ. Gray, don't go too far. Oh Lord, maybe I shouldn't have let him out. Well, hopefully he'll be back. Lordy, lordy. So, anyways, I just that's just my opinion about QAnon, and that Q is just one letter in the alphabet. W is another one. That's mine. So I could call myself W Anon. Really, what's the point? I guess I would have blown that cover, hey, if I already said who I was. But I just like to say thank you, by the way, to those people who have been giving me these wonderful gifts. In a way of saying thank you for the broadcasting, and thank you for the research, and thank you because I don't like to talk about things without knowing about things. And when if I don't know about something, then I'm going to research it. That's just who I am, which kind of can get annoying to some people, but you know, I have to research it because I want to know if it's true. And I have always said in all my broadcasts over the years that if I say something, I don't want people to actually just believe it. I want people to go out and see it. They want to find it for themselves. Gray, Gray. Uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. I don't know where he went. Oh well, he'll come back when he's ready. I'll just leave the door open a smidge. If you don't know what a smidge means, it means a little bit, just a smidge. I don't know. We use that as slang in Canada. I know in the U.S. I've heard people say it too, smidge, just a smidge. But anyways, I'm helping a musician right now get ready to record a single and to digitally put it out. And so it's kind of years ago before I became disabled, man. I was right up there in the music business. I managed bands, I toured with bands, I made their websites, I did their bios, the biographies. I did all the grunt work that musicians are like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. That's why I have you. But when I worked for the bands, I charged 25% of whatever they got. So, well, it depended on 20 to 25%. And then once a band got to a point where they were getting lots of gigs, then I would hand them up to the next, um, artist management who were able to better deal with, larger venues and arenas and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I helped to get the merch done and merchandise, so things like T-shirts and other things that you would buy at a concert. I helped to do that, to do all the artwork for a CD. Uh-oh. My worst fear is that this cat is going to get run over. Hey, Justano, how you doing? Let me guess, you believe in Q, right? Freaking hot here today. I'm so hot. Holy Lord. No, you don't? Okay, good. Because you and I know anybody can say anything they want to on the internet, and all it takes is one person to believe it. I love that. Hi, Sacramento. Isn't that just strange? You believe in tea? I don't know. I'm more of an X girl. I like X. Oh, thank you, Haps. Oh, I love this Haps. This Haps is amazing. Look at all the comments are being moderated, and I've done that on my Twitter account as well. Yeah, this is Canada. We have our own BS. Yeah, that's true. We do. My husband has got to get his second shot soon so that we can go to the US, travel. No, because I know what you're going to say. Don't open the border until the soft is over. Yeah, I know. But I'm dying to get out and travel. Seriously. American BS. Yeah, Isn't that funny? Ed Butler. What's the matter? Your W no hair account go down? Oh, Haps, you are amazing. You're amazing, Haps. Did I mention how much I love this app right now? I do. I love this app. This app is phenomenal, man. so cool because, it blocks certain words, and actually, I love it. I really do. Let me just go to my profile here and see what's happening with this broadcast. Well, look at that. Look at that. You can't even, nothing you're typing, Ed Butler, is showing up on Twitter. Da, 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 dee, dee, dee. You might just as well give up, dude. Nothing. Nothing is showing up on my Twitter because I've got all your stupid words blocked. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to. Keep forgetting. I gotta change the. I have to change the privacy on this. Oops, what am I doing? I got no comments on the Facebook because it's still in the wrong privacy. I don't know why it does that, but friends. There we go. All right. I know, but they're really bad at it. They're not good trolls. They only say the same things all the time. You have duty diapers, you're in a wheelchair, you're losing your hair, you're a bald Indian, oh, scammer. Oh, oh yeah. I'm so happy with the way that yeah, I know I fart all the time. I do. I do. You know, uh, beans, beans, magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you chew. The more you chew, the better you feel. So eat beans with every meal. Oh my gosh. I just love it. If you do not like it, don't breathe around me. I know, right? I mean, it's the silent ones that you really got to watch out for. Those are the violent ones. Really, they are. They're the most stinkiest ones. They're the ones that somebody drops a bomb in the middle of a grocery aisle and they walk away really quick. And then you just happen to be the poor person who happens to walk towards it. You smell it. Then there's somebody behind you who smells it. They look at you and think you're the one who dealt it. Oh. So, the way things work with my broadcast is that, you know, you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. Now, the ones I do that can clear a room, everyone knows I did it. I'm frozen. Oh, it's just because I'm not moving. Uh, yeah. But, yeah, it's back. Yeah. I'm back. Go ahead and insult me. Nothing I did here. I did not hear 50 years ago. Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's like kids, right? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And yet when you say that, then they say, yeah, well, I'm right outside your door. I'm gonna teach you a thing or two about being on social media and bringing a gun with me too. How can we not laugh at things like that? It's just stuff that people say, and they just, I don't know if they stop and think about themselves, like, to themselves, geez, I'm a mom, or I'm a dad, or I'm a grandparent, I'm an aunt, and I'm an uncle, and here I am telling the young ones in my life to behave in a certain way, and I don't, you know? My own grandmother called me an a-hole. Think I know. My grandmother, too, on my mom's side, right? Native woman. She's like, oh, there he is. It's my cat. My native woman, she believed that women should do all the housework. And so when she lived with us and shared my bedroom with me, but we lived together, and she, the way that, like, she would see if the floor needed to be swept or the dishes needed to be washed. And then all of a sudden it was like, Wanda, get yourself over here. But mom said that my brother was supposed to do it today. I don't care what your mom said. Housework is women's work. Now you get up. And then if I didn't do what she wanted me to do on time, she took that stupid broom and chased me around the house with it. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, you're checking. Oh, good. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's looking for the rats. Yes. At least he's not going too far. Well, mine was half native, so she was willing to go half hard. Hi, Ellen. Thank you so much for subscribing. How are you today? I love Haps. Haps is so amazing. The moderation, and I'm looking on my Facebook right now, so I see my Facebook account, and I'm live on there, but of course nobody's talking because I didn't have it. Hello, whoever's watching on Facebook. Hello. Hello. So, um, my other one was a Romanian. She loved me. Oh, yeah. Well, the native ones, right? I mean, they're tough. They were tough women. Back in the day, like my grandmother, man, she worked the land. She was right there. I mean, her husband was off doing trapping, and she had to work the land, right? She had all those kids. They had all those kids to work the land, you know? So Ellen Bower has, let me see. I'll go to my settings, and let's add that word as, oh, because I can't do it right here. I'll do it later. Comment moderation. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'll fix it later. You can try as much as you'd like to, but you're not going to. Da, da, da. All right. No, I'm back. I didn't know that I could do that. I did something wrong. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I tried to look at somebody's profile, you know, but they're just pretending to be me anyway. So I'm so well loved. So let's see. Um, So, anyways, of course, after I finish this broadcast, actually, maybe I can do it now. I am going to. No, I'm glad I don't. Yeah, I know. That's what I did. Yeah, I did it in a different tab, which works. But, that's kind of cool. I don't know where the cat went again. It was here a minute ago. Oh, look where the cat is. Isn't that awesome? Well, now I know when I come outside, you can come too because he's not going to leave. That is really cool. The new Trudeau song, Trump song. Um, Hello on Facebook, whoever's watching me. Oh, saw something. You saw something. Yeah. Oh, he's on the prowl. Those rats aren't gonna like him very much. Yeah, this is the gray cat. This is the one we rescued. And this is the first time I've ever let him come outside with me. Or outside on purpose at all. But he's looking for. We've noticed because we live near the river, there's a lot of rats. And rats don't bother me, but when you start seeing them coming through your yard, you know that's a bit much of rats. The Ballad of Peter. Totally. um, Look at this. Ooh, ta-da! My first block. That's amazing. I should listen to it. Why? Oh, is it a whole thing? Okay. Guess you can only play it on YouTube. Wait. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. First bra? Uh, I don't think so. Okay, wait.
If you're doing online meetings, you have to try Chris. With the magic of a click.
All right. No thanks. So is this supposed to be like a whole different kind of thing? Oh, I don't know. Block. My first block. But I love this is so broadcaster friendly. This app. They were asking me if I could talk about how my dad raped me. That's why they blocked. It's the same person. He's trying all over on Twitter and everywhere else, but yeah, yeah. I muted it and then I just blocked that account. So it's good. Who needs people like that in your life, right? Who cares? What is this a different version of that song? Because I know this song. Yeah, no one should be more of an a-hole than you. That's right. No a-holes allowed except for just Dana. Oh, it's the same song. Okay. I know that song, but I didn't know it by them. I think it was done by just it just flipped through my head. The song for Trump now? Yeah. Yeah, that I could see that. The Canadian ones. Oh, what's the temperature like or weather in the peg right now? It's here, it's like super hot. Last time I checked, it was, I think, 31. It's 30. Fine autumn day. Tragically hip, yeah. 17. Well, I know. You know what, though? I don't mind those temperatures really because it's easier to sleep at night, you know. You know, when it gets to be like 30 degrees, it's over here, the heat is not like in Winnipeg, though. Winnipeg, just like the cold, is way different than here. Still no mosquitoes. Ooh, that's good. That's really good. We've had mosquitoes here, unfortunately. I don't like mosquitoes. The cat is off searching for rats out there. Just those weird ones that like to fly around lights. Do you get? Do we get firebugs there? Lightning, what they call them, lightning bugs in the U.S. I thought we did, but I'm not. I don't. You know, my memory from that many years ago could be weird. Not that you could be. Yeah, yeah. When I was in Nashville, I called them firebugs or whatever, and these little kids come up and they go, "They're not firebugs. They're lightning bugs." And I'm like, "Okay." Your memory says yes. So I just don't remember. I know I've seen them somewhere. Maybe in the country. But that was before all the stuff was cut down. Yeah, right? Well, it's I'm thinking maybe in the country. Maybe that's where. I don't know. But I was there when the cicadas came out of the ground. I can tell you firsthand experience that it's crazy. They don't bite you or anything, but they're just everywhere, which is weird. And now they're back, and people are eating them. Same people eat ants, and other things. I was never a bug eater myself, so no, I think I'll pass on that. Oh, Lord. I should end this broadcast because the title I'm not even talking about anymore. Joy. try to stick to one title, one conversation, but I can't. They may be the same family as shrimp. What, the cicadas? Gross. It's like my encounter with them. I tried, like, I didn't know what they were. I didn't know if they were going to bite me or eat our food or what it was going to do, but they got inside of our trailer. And so I was running around with, on the crutches trying to stupidly hit these stupid bugs off the wall, and you'd hit it with your shoe or whatever, right? Expecting it to go splat, but all you'd hear is crunch or like a dinging sound is, from the metal that they're made of. I don't, you know what? I've never ever been a person who eats anything from the water. Never. And, I can't really stand the smell of, well, if fish smell, then it's time to throw it away. But yeah, you're an omnivore, so you eat everything. Which reminds me, I guess I should go eat. Diabetes. Boo. I hate it. I hate diabetes. Lobster's okay. Yeah, I hear lobster is good, but I still, it's like once you crack something open, like what do you call those things? Shoot, they're the same kind of thing because lobsters, all that, they're bottom feeders. Ugh. Used to be slave and prisoner food. I I don't know. I could never eat it. I mean, I tried I tried escargot once and eel once, and both I found to be like chewing rubber. I didn't like it. Rubber with some butter and some garlic stuff thrown on it. Bottom feeders get eaten by something somewhere along the line. I know, but I don't have to be one of those one things that eat it. Nope, not me. Oh Lord, I know. I like my mom used to can salmon and all this. She used to can all kinds of crap. And family used to hunt. They used to have trap lines. I plucked birds. For family members as young as when I was 5. That was kind of our job. That was our job to pluck the feathers off of the geese and the ducks. And then there were, I never did any of the, taking the hides off the animals, but we hung the hides in our house. Yeah, why make fake beef? I don't understand it. Well, apparently, it's funny you say that because Subway in the United States is being sued because apparently the tuna Subway uses is not what they say it is. So my husband is highly disappointed with that because he used to, he'd get a tuna, sub from Subway, and now he's like, "What? Tasted like tuna?" I said, "Yeah, probably did, but it's not tuna." What is it then? I don't know, but it's not tuna. They're being sued. I was like, I've tried some of the plant stuff that's supposed to be meat, and it's not for me. No, I I don't I don't eat a lot of red meat, but I do eat a lot of like chicken, and because I don't know why, I just like chicken better. I mean, if I had to choose between a chicken breast or a sirloin tip steak, I'd probably pick the chicken because I'm not a real big fan of beef. Yeah, you refuse to. Yeah, I'm not a. I don't know. I don't like those things. I figure you know, we have been meat eaters our entire existence. I mean, it's fine for some people who decide that they don't want to eat meat and stuff. That's fine. I try to stay away from any refined food. I know, right? It's like how much processing goes into all of that stuff, right? And it's just, I don't like processed. Processed is not good. I would rather eat something that is the real something than something that is supposed to be something, you know? Because it never tastes as good. I don't care what anybody says. They can make all the commercials they want with A&W with their, their burgers that are not made with beef and stuff, and I'm still not going to eat it. you know, I don't like that. I'm more of a person who likes, if I'm going to have a hamburger, I want a real hamburger. I don't want something fake. I don't want to taste like, thing. I want the real thing. If I want to taste like, then I would get taste like, but I want real, you know? And like, you're right. It's not like the Canadian prairies are not a perfect place to raise beef and dairy. I know, right? And you're supporting the farmers when you partake of their, their products. You're helping them out. It's a job, right? It's a hard job. I wouldn't want to do it. I would never ever be able to be a farm worker because I don't know. So it's just to me, it's not something I ever wanted to do. My husband and his mom both would have loved to have a farm with cows and horses and goats and pigs and all that, but they would have been the ones out there working the land, not me. Having them convert to soy would cause a fortune. Yeah, right? And soy is not the be all end all, you know? It's like when these miracles come in, like, what is it? Ginkanoba or something or whatever. That was a big thing. That was a big deal. I mean, maybe it still is, but I mean, I remember when everybody and their dog was taking ginkanoba, right? Or whatever it's called. And the farmers, there was land that had this, and now those farmers are not growing that. They're growing something else, right? Because that's not a profitable crop. And you put in all that hard work. You figure how many hours you work in order to do your crop and stuff, how much work it goes into it. Yeah, go your own fungus. That's right. Yeah, yeah, I don't like fungus. I don't like mushrooms. I don't get it. Mushrooms grow in poo. Mushrooms grow in the grossest parts. It's like, no, thank you. I mean, mushrooms might be good. I mean, there are people love mushroom. My husband loves them, but not me. I don't. No, not a fan. It was a weird one that you grew in your. It was a weird one that you grew in your fridge. Really? Well, we would just call that mold. when you leave your food in the fridge too long and it starts growing penicillin on it. Ugh. Ugh. Nothing worse than looking through your fridge and finding something that's been there for a while and has decided to grow its own, you know, life things. Gray, where are you? Gray, Gray. Uh-oh, I don't see him now. Wonder where he went. Hopefully not on the street. Whole earthers swore by it. Really? I don't know. See, I wouldn't know about that because I never would have grown that purposely. Okay, I gotta go because, diabetes. All right, I'll be back later. And as always, it's always, always, always nice to talk with you, Justana, and I'm happy you made it in here. I'm going to try to come on here later. So I will see you later. See you later, my friend.